Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Chamber Behind the Scenes webinar. Before we get started, there are a couple of housekeeping items to be mindful of. To reduce the sound of background noise, everyone has been muted. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on our website. After our presentation, we will then allow for people to ask questions. You can ask questions by submitting them in the chat or scroll down to the manage participants and you can raise your hand that way. All right, great. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get started. Great. All right, Courtney Thompson, our president and CEO, will be starting us off.
Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for welcoming us this afternoon and being with us today. We're excited to share with you a little bit of your chamber behind the scenes and what we're doing right now during this time. Obviously, these are interesting times and we're all doing the best that we can to stay connected. We want to make sure that we are staying in tune with our members, staying engaged. We miss you guys. We really miss being out at our events. We miss being out visiting our members. The four of us miss being in the office together. It's been a little different doing things via digital technology, but we are thankful for things like Zoom that allow us to still connect and engage even during this time. So we're going to give you a little peek behind the scenes today. We're going to talk about what the Chamber does in general, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how we've kind of pivoted during this time to still stay in touch and still bring you good information and the content that you need even during times like this, which none of us have ever dealt with. So interesting. We're going to start out by introducing ourselves. Obviously, you guys know me. I'm Courtney Thompson, the President and CEO.
I am Hannah Cooper. I'm the Membership Engagement Director.
I am Shasta Weeks, and I am the Operations Director.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Wilbur, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Director.
So you guys know us. We're a small team of four, but we get a lot of stuff done. And we wear a lot of different hats. Sometimes we're swapping hats throughout the day. Sometimes we're wearing multiple hats. But it's always interesting and always a lot of fun. No 2 days are alike, especially here lately. So we feel like it's important to share with you the Chamber's core values. This is something we've worked through the last couple years as we've really worked to define who we are, to clear our mission statement, our vision statement, all those things. So we're not going to read all these to you because you can kind of go through them yourself, but we do want you to know that as we work on programs, as we work on events, all the things that we do at the Chamber, we go back to these 6 core values. So influence, focus, collaboration, connection, integrity, and leadership. So we try and make sure that these are at the forefront of everything that we do, whether it's a membership engagement program or an event that we're putting on or an email we're sending out or information that we're sharing. We try and make sure that our core values are at the heart of this.
All right. Up next is membership, guys. First, I want to share a few membership facts with everyone because I think that these are really important. The first one is consumers are 63% more likely to buy from a business that is a Chamber member. The Chamber holds a lot of credibility within the community, and so folks will traffic our online business directory to be sure that the person that they are doing business with is a Chamber member. We have that happen all the time. We have people call us all the time and say, hey, is this person a Chamber member? We want to know. So that's a huge part of the Chamber. Companies enjoy a 49% increase in consumer favorability rating for being a member of the Chamber. Same thing as I was mentioning before, a lot of people will choose a business that is a Chamber member over someone who is not a Chamber member, just for the credibility that we hold. Consumers are 73% more likely to be highly aware of a business if it's a member of the Chamber and 68% more likely to think positively of its local reputation. And 7 out of 10 consumers believe that being actively involved in the Chamber is an effective strategy for enhancing a business's reputation. So I just wanted to share these facts with you guys that were done by the Shapiro Group a few years back. I think that they're pretty big stronghold staples, and they really show that the Chamber is a powerhouse and we're a great organization to be a part of. So now I'm going to move on to the next slide here and talk to you guys a little bit about what I do as the Membership Engagement Director. So obviously we want to implement our core values through the engagement of our membership, and I do that in multiple ways. So one of the big ways is roadmap meetings. I do a lot of these with new members when we onboard, but I also do these with members who are just kind of out of touch with the chamber and want to learn more about what we are doing currently. So in these roadmap meetings, I like to go through each sector of our chamber and design a roadmap for them for an entire year in what they should be involved in and what they should be participating in that's going to bring the most value to their business. We also have something that we do called Members Matter, and this is another way for me to connect with our members and member check-ins. So we have a day each month where we have a slew of awesome volunteers that go and visit our members for us. And when they do, they gather information from them, any member needs that they may have or suggestions that they may have, and they bring them back to me so I can connect with them individually. Sometimes they don't. They just say, you guys are doing a great job. We know what you're doing. We're involved. And thanks for stopping by. And sometimes they really are wanting to get more involved in the community. So we love that program. So a lot of what I do is just making sure that our community and our members know what we have to offer and what the benefits of the chamber are. I also work to develop our membership. I am a big believer that there's power in numbers and that community collaboration is so important. And so I do that by strategically onboarding new members and then also our membership investors that do our Membership Plus programs that help us with our programming all year long, whether it be committee work or a signature event or reoccurring educational programs that we have. So that's a little bit about what I do in a nutshell, and I love it.
So obviously the chamber hosts numerous events throughout the year, over 70 in 2019, in fact, focusing on education, advocacy, networking, and community. Some examples of our educational events are the UP Conference, that's a staff development conference, and our WIN Summit, and that chooses topics that intend to educate women on business issues. Our advocacy related events include a legislative breakfast where we sit down to breakfast to hear from our state delegation about their priorities. Another fun event we do is our Pig Pickin' and Politickin' Barbecue, where we mingle and speak with the elected officials and candidates. We host networking events, which include our business after hours. We do those monthly, so you can come out after work and network with other professionals. Or if you prefer morning, we have a morning brew that is our early morning networking event, where we let everyone introduce themselves and what business they're with. Lastly, some examples of our community events include our Education Appreciation Breakfast and Expo, which is to show our gratitude for all of the educators in our community that do so much. This is our chance to say thank you and give back to them. Another community event we hold is our Farming in the Valley event, and that is to educate everyone about our agriculture and the resources in our area.
In addition to all the great events that we have committees, and these guys are really the meat and bones of our chamber. They help us structure and design the work that we do on a daily basis. We have a small business council, so those folks have helped us come up with great benefits in the past. One of the things that they have done most recently is our small business newsletter and helping us design our small business spotlight, which is a monthly video that we do for a small business and highlighting what they do and what services they provide. They also help us create the programming that we have for small businesses, and a lot of the folks within the Small Business Council are small businesses themselves, so they really have a great insight of what our community needs in regards to small business. Next, we have a talent coalition. This is all about talent recruitment and retention. This fluctuates all the time. So in the past, we've had a crazy low unemployment rate, and they've really tried to help bridge the gap for employers and retaining employees. And then obviously things are shifting right now, so their main focus is workforce development and how to get a stronghold on that. Next, we have our Voice of Business Committee, and that is exactly what it says. This committee really is the true voice of business for our members, for our community. They create a legislative agenda each year, and their top priority this year is broadband access for Stanton, Waynesboro, and Augusta County and beyond, actually, and how we can extend our reach for folks that don't have broadband access. And I tell you what, guys, my husband is a high school teacher, and that has definitely presented a problem recently with the students that he has. They've gone to all online schooling for the rest of the year, and he had to contact every single student that he has to see if they had internet or not. So it's a real problem in this area, and they are focusing a lot on that this year. In addition to several other things that have come about on the legislative agenda, the opioid crisis in our area, and a lot of you guys already know, but we've worked very diligently on getting funding for the I-81 corridor through that group as well. So they work with local elected officials all the way up and really represent our businesses very well. In addition to that, our last committee is our regional visioning cohort. And this group is designed to make sure that regional collaboration is happening within our area, all 13 jurisdictions that we have up and down the I-81 corridor and beyond. And so they really have morphed into this group that is just kind of lifting up those folks and designing some really cool things in the background to make sure that that collaboration happens.
Our committees are awesome. We're so appreciative of them. Next up, we have our Leadership Greater Augusta program, which I hope you guys are familiar with. It is our longest running program. It was actually started back in the mid-'80s when the Waynesboro Chamber existed. They actually started it, and then of course the chambers continued it when they merged in 1999 to become the Greater Augusta Chamber. This program has graduated over 300 participants during its time. It's a 9-month intensive program that's meant for leadership and personal development. So we take the participants through a 9-month program. They meet once a month in a full day session. It is led by a facilitator who works on different kinds of leadership skills, personal skills, community networking, all those different things. And then typically the afternoon will include some kind of guest speaker or a tour. So we get to tour different industries, different businesses in the area. They get to hear from different community leaders. So maybe a business leader, it may be our economic development or a board of supervisors. We've heard from the Center for Nonprofit Excellence. All kinds of different individuals who can come in and share experiences, share things that some of our participants may not have had any access to. So they get to learn all kinds of leadership skills. We highly encourage, if you haven't done this program, we would love to have you participate in the next program that will start in August. It is awesome. And we feel very strongly that leaders aren't always just at the top. Leaders can be in any part of the company. And we really work with our businesses and our members to identify those potential leaders who they feel like have a lot of great qualities to make them leaders and put them through this program. So we are wrapping up our current class, the 2019-2020 class. Of course, their last month or two is going to look a little different than it normally would, but we are working to give them a virtual option for our April session, and then we'll have a graduation for them at some point in the next couple of months. And then we will be pushing out information for the 2020-2021 class in May. And those applications will be due over the summertime, with that program kicking off at the end of August, and then the first session in September going into the next 9 months of that. So if you have any questions about that, please let us know. We are very passionate about LGA. We love it. We've been working really hard to revamp it a little bit for the upcoming year, and it's going to be really great, really exciting. So we'll be reaching out. Watch for that information. If there are people at your company that you think should be involved, please let them know about it. We do have a tab on our website specifically about LGA, so there's lots of information there. We love this program.
All right, we also have our Academic Achievers Program, which some of you may or may not know that runs out of our C3 foundation that our chamber has. We've given away over $198,000 to high school seniors. So they'll each receive $1,000 scholarship to a 2-year, 4-year, or a vocational school of their choice. So we are in the midst of that right now. So if you all know of a high school senior that needs help with school or vocational classes, please go on our website. The application can be found under our foundation tab, and then you'll see Academic Achievers right there. We have extended the deadline, so the new deadline is April 17th. So you've got definitely 16 more days to get the application in and get everything in that we need. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the area that I manage, which is marketing and communications. I'm the one that sends you guys all of your lovely emails, so hopefully you're opening them and reading them. But one thing I'd like to highlight goes out on Tuesdays is our member messages. That is a communication that we welcome your submissions to. So whether it is highlighting a new employee, or you're doing an event, or a milestone you've reached in your organization, or obviously right now everyone's pivoting and changing what they're doing with their business, we want to know about that. So all you have to do is submit your information to me. We just need your logo, a 50-word description, and then I link to either a PDF or a URL that you tell me to. So we love your submissions. We want to make sure we're supporting you all in everything that you're doing, especially now during when everyone's changing what their business model may look like. So feel free to submit those. My website or my email is going to be at the end of this presentation, but you can feel free to email me at kim@augustava.com, and I'll get you the submission requirements in written form as well. We also have several, as you can see, social media channels that we hope that you're following us on. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. So if you're not following us on any of those, please go after this webinar and do that. But we also want you to know for your business that we want to know what you're doing during this time, whether it's offering curbside delivery or offering anything else that your business is doing during this COVID-19 crisis. Let us know. We want to share that, so you can tag us, and we'll try to reshare it if it's on Facebook or wherever it might be. But we want to make sure that your message is getting to a broader audience. So we'd love to help you with that. We also have a website as a resource. So right now you'll see our calendar of virtual events, because obviously we can't do any in-person events right now. But as you can see, we've started doing webinars, which is what we're doing right now. And then on Friday, we're also doing a virtual morning brew. So join us virtually, grab your coffee, open your computer and join us. That is going to be Friday at 10 a.m. So you can go on our website and register for that, and then we'll send you the login information. And lastly, we also have our COVID-19 resource page. So on this website is a huge list of resources, whether it be locally, state or federal resources that are available to you. This website is changing daily. We're updating it all the time. So feel free to check back often, as we do have lots of updates. But we also have at the bottom is a list of any of our members that are offering carryout, curbside, or delivery options. We have that on there. So if your business is doing that and you don't see your name on there, please let us know. We would love to add you and would be happy to do that.
So the last major category that we work under at the Chamber is advocacy. When we talk about advocacy, it's not politics, it's policy. We think there's a huge difference there. What we do is focus and work on policies or legislation that are going to affect business. We work very carefully to stay out of anything partisan. We just want to make sure that our business community is being treated fairly, being treated well, and being heard. When individual businesses or even individual industries try and make their voices heard in Richmond or in Washington, it can be hard. But when we can come together as a chamber and represent over 600 businesses, that voice is a little bit louder. So when we talk about being the voice of business, that's what we mean. We are looking out for the best business interests of our community. So all of us live here, we work here, we play here, we shop here. It is very, very important to us that our community is growing and thriving, because we're raising our families here too. We go out and eat at these restaurants, we shop at these retail stores. So it's important to us that our business community is thriving. Obviously right now, we're working hard to stay in contact with our members to make sure that they have the resources they need, that they understand what's going on, that all the newest executive orders and things are being carried out correctly. And when they have questions about those, we're trying to get them answered. But in general, we are working on business-friendly policies. We know that Virginia is typically a business-friendly state, and we've kind of gone up and down the last couple of years as to the order that, or the ranking that we come in, but we want Virginia to be business-friendly. So those are the things that we work on. Again, we talked a little bit earlier about our Voice of Business Committee. They do meet monthly. That is a group of local member or local business people who come together and talk about what they're seeing in business, what they're hearing in the community, and what's important to our member businesses. They are also the ones who work on and set our legislative agenda for the year, which Hannah mentioned earlier. Broadband is very important, and I think we're all seeing that in a huge way right now. So they work on those different aspects every year. We also present our legislative breakfast, which we mentioned under programs and events. That's held typically in December, and it's our opportunity to hear from our local delegates before they go to General Assembly to talk about, number one, what they see coming up, what the priorities are for them, and what our priorities are. So we're sharing with them, here's what our business community is concerned about or wants to hear about. And those are the things that we hope that they take back to Richmond with them to look for the best interests of our business community in our area. We are very fortunate to have really good connections with our delegates and with our senators. We try and make sure that we're staying in contact with them. We stay in contact with their legal aides and their teams and their assistants through all this COVID-19. The last couple of weeks, we have been in pretty much daily conversations with our local legislators. I've been on several calls with Senator Warner's office, with the senator actually on the phone with us. We have a call tomorrow with Governor Northam's office where he will be on the call with us. So we want to make sure that they're listening and that they hear us. And again, when we can come together to present concerns and issues from our business community, it makes a big deal. They hear us when we're coming together as a group. Again, strength in numbers, like Hannah mentioned earlier, that's very important. We as a chamber are members of the Virginia Chamber and the U.S. Chamber. Sometimes, especially with the U.S. Chamber, obviously because they are national, they may take stances on certain policies or positions that we don't necessarily agree with. So that doesn't mean that we always agree with them or sign off on things that they are suggesting. But being members of those two does give us a lot of access to resources, to groups, to lobbying groups, to all kinds of different things. And especially here lately, the Virginia Chamber has been incredibly helpful with resources and things coming down during the COVID crisis, what is specific to Virginia businesses. So we've been really fortunate to be tapped into that. They both have legal teams, and especially again on the state level, those legal teams are the ones who read through these hundreds of pages of bills and kind of break it down for us into what we need to know, what's important, and when we need to send out a call of action. So you've seen those from us before where there might be an action alert that we're asking you to reach out to your local delegate to share our concern or our position or how we would like them to vote. When you get those, it's not something that we're just passing on. It's something that we have received typically from the Virginia Chamber, and it has gone through our Voice of Business Committee and our Executive Board Committee, and they have agreed that we want to take action on it and encourage our members to take action on it. We know that not all of our members may agree with the position that we've decided to take, but we work really hard, again, to focus on business-friendly policies. So I want to be super clear that we are not into politics. Believe me, my degree is in political science, and I could have gone into politics and decided that wasn't the life for me, but we're very, very careful about the policies that we want to get behind in this area. And again, getting those into Richmond, getting our voices heard there through those business lobbying. So that's kind of our general advocacy, what we do on a daily basis or a normal basis. Right now, obviously, things have changed a little with the current situation. we're working really, really hard to gather information. We have been, like I said, on multiple calls, webinars, you name it, multiple times a day with different organizations sharing information. So Small Business Administration, the Governor's Office, our senators, the Community Foundation, State and Creative Community Fund. I mean, everybody is working so hard, and we really appreciate the patience of our members and our business community as these things are worked through. We obviously don't want to share any information before we have good details on it, or information that may change. And quite frankly, that's kind of, they've been throwing out these big ideas and big things happening, and then the detail people come along behind them and say, okay, time out, let's get all the details worked out, and then we're able to share the information. So we are sharing it as quickly and thoroughly as we can. I sent out an email this morning that shared the press release from the Small Business Administration about the $394 billion package that was passed, and they are going to be distributing soon. But again, all those details aren't worked out. So as we know those, we are trying to share them. There are webinars put on by the SBA that I highly encourage you to attend, especially if you are a business that may need some of that assistance right now. We're happy to point you in the right direction, but we don't want to put ourselves in the position of giving any kind of tax or legal advice that we are not allowed to give or experts in, certainly. But we are really working hard to bring you those experts and those resources that will help point you in the right direction. So advocacy has been a huge thing for us these last couple weeks, and we expect that it will continue. So hang in there, stay tuned. We are sharing all the information that we get as quickly as possible. We encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions about that.
All right, great. So as you'll see on the screen, this is our contact information. But right now, we just want to see if anybody has any questions. So you can unmute yourself at the bottom of the screen and by raising your hand or unmuting, or you can use the chat feature and you can chat your questions to us that way.
Okay, guys, if you all don't have any questions, we are going to go ahead and hop off of here. Thank you so much for signing on to the webinar. As Kim mentioned earlier, all of our contact details are there. You can also find that on our website as well. If you guys are ever looking to get engaged with our chamber and want to learn more about what we're doing, whether we're going through a pandemic or we're just running business as usual, please do reach out to us if you are looking for more ways to get into the chamber and get into our community. Until next time, see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.